Hey everybody, welcome to tonight's Dancing with the Stars recap.
Yeah, last time, the sunshine of the show, Adam Julianne and Julianne were eliminated.
She was okay too.
So now what?
It's Latin night, baby.
Yes, bring out the skimpy costumes.
And tacky. If it can be an ice skating costume, it's
Latin night.
Exactly.
So the show started off with Mario and Karina.
Oh, Karina.
Who did a samba.
And they were looking for a little inspiration. So
yeah. Mario's been
been
feeling a little down lately.
Right. So he decided that he was going to go bring her to meet Stevie Wonder.
Ooh.
He is amazing.
Yeah.
We love his music. So their dance was good, but it wasn't great.
I wasn't dying over it.
I wasn't rolling around on the floor clutching my heart.
Yeah.
So, where were the samba rolls, though?
You don't always have to have those in a samba.
I like them. That's what I really look forward to in a samba.
And her little pet name for him is Poopy.
Hey, Poopy, you feeling okay?
What's wrong, Poopy?
Okay, so, score of 27 for them.
Alright.
I guess. So, our favorites... Priscilla and Louie.
My favorite.
I love Louie.
Well, I love Louie, but...
Priscilla and Louie up next with a Rhumba. And Louie is a friggin' taskmaster.
Yeah. He wants perfection.
That's right, and he will stop at nothing to get it.
If you don't do it right, you're doing it again.
And again.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It just seems so forced to me.
Yeah.
It was like he was cracking the whip and she was trying to keep up and...
There was no connection like they had that other week.
Right. And there was no connection between the steps either.
It was just very stumbly. Like, I don't know. It
little vignettes that they traveled through and it just wasn't even in sync.
Overall, I think everyone was stumbling around tonight.
I think tonight,
it's really weird.
By far, was one of the stumbliest nights yet.
Because I thought the Latin night would be like a real breakout night for a lot of people.
I thought it would be smooth because, you know, who can't shake it?
I don't know.
Well, they got a 21.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of disappointing. Marissa and Tony up next.
Yes, and they were doing a samba.
So his advice to her was to practice at home.
Get into character.
Right, so she had like a carnival DVD in there and she had one of these giant feather hats.
It was crazy.
She was wearing it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
In her car and in the living room and
by the pool.
Yeah, so I guess that helps you shake.
Sure.
So her dance and his dance were a whole lot of shaking going on and not much substance there.
Oh my gosh, Tony was freaking breaking it down, man.
Yeah, he was really doing it crazy, but she was just shaking there like a bowl of jelly.
I don't know.
I wasn't feeling it.
I thought there could have been a little more content.
And you know what? No more rolls. There was no rolls. I want my rolls.
So they got a 24, which tied their score from last week.
Right. So, Cristian and Cheryl up next.
Rhumba.
They did this little soap opera scene in their video package. And you know what? Cristian is very dangerous.
Don't look him in the eyes.
That's right, because he will definitely steal your soul.
Yes.
He will reach right in there and steal it right out of your head.
It's all that telenovela acting.
Okay, so, great job for them. The judges didn't like it as much as I did, I don't think.
They only got a 23.
You know, he was a little bit stumbly, but who wasn't tonight, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was really good, though. He had that movement down. He could have dragged his foot a little bit more.
The arms were a little bit stiff.
But who wasn't?
I felt in some spots.
Who wasn't stiff? Come on. They were practically corpses tonight.
So next up was Marlee and Fabian with Samba.
And their little video package, they went and they delivered hearing aids, and it was...
They were, like, fitting them and stuff.
I know, I was, like, on the verge of tears.
Was that in Mexico? Yeah, I know, I was almost crying.
These poor kids hearing for the first time, and he was just like, "Bop, bop, bop." I know about that because my son didn't talk until he was, like, practically 8 years old. So I can tell how exciting that is to finally hear something out of your child.
Mm-hmm.
So... it's getting more and more difficult for her.
It is.
The faster the music.
This week you really have to be, like for the samba, you have to be on the beat.
That's right, and they had the samba.
Yes.
And yeah, and the faster it goes, you know, the more chance you have of screwing up because you get a little bit behind and you're way behind before you know it.
Yeah, so it kind of fell apart.
Yeah. There were moments that it was very good, but then there were moments that it was like, I could either just give up or go on. And she chose to go on, like Carrie Ann said, and we got to give her a round of applause for that, Marlee. You did a great job. So.
They got a 22.
And even though there were no more rolls on their dance either. I know, I'm like a stickler about, I want to see some Samba rolls.
So next up was Kristi and Mark with a Rhumba.
And yeah, Kristi had to fool herself into having an alter ego.
Sexy.
I don't blame her. I mean, she wants to be with her husband, and she's not an actress, and, you know, how else are you going to justify, like, getting all sexy with somebody?
So, Mark's name was Marcusio.
And she was Christiana.
Yes. And, Mark invited her husband and her kids to the studio. Let me just say, her kids were adorable.
They were adorable. And I do have to give them the award tonight for the most excellent costume.
Man. Gold star.
Classy, elegant.
Love that color.
Dr. Drew Lavender. Perfect. All right, their dance, though, I don't know. I think I might have missed something because everybody was raving about it, and it seemed a little bit boring to me.
I thought it started out a little bit slow, but then it picked up. And
yeah, it did pick up a little bit towards the end, but I just wasn't feeling the chemistry between them. I think some of the other couples had a lot more chemistry than they did.
Well, the judges were, because they got a 29 out of 30.
Well, good for them. So, Shannon and Derek up next. Poor Derek, man.
He's going through hell this season.
He really has.
He had to be taken to the hospital. Was it this morning?
I think so.
Because he's got a little bit of food poisoning.
Food poisoning. He was doing a little bit of the upchucks. And you know what? That's what you get from hanging out with Jerry Butler. He's filthy. Stay away from him.
I love you, Jerry.
I know. Jerry, you're a sexy bitch.
I know.
Alright, so she got stuck in the spray tan machine. But it looked pretty good.
She was looking, like, way different.
I know. You know, I'm not a big fan of the spray tan, but she was working it.
Yes.
Working it hard. So, they had a Samba. Finally! Somebody did a Samba roll. Thank you. It was one roll.
It was one little roll, and you're like,
but I appreciated it. I appreciated it. I think that's a sexy move. So, yeah, they got a 23. I would have given them a 27 just for doing the Samba roll. Alright, to round out the evening, Jason and Edyta. They were doing a Rhumba. And you know what? When you're freaking 9 feet tall, it's kind of hard not to be stiff.
Yeah, that's true.
So, poor Jason, you know, he's got a lot of work. He's got a big, tall drink of water to work with there.
Yeah.
So he's got to make it flow. So Edyta came up with this idea
She was pulling out these crazy moves.
They were insanely good. And she made him do them. He cannot get his leg like that, girl.
It was funny.
So, all of a sudden, we were watching their dance, and the control room cuts to Len, like...
He was like...
What was up with that?
It was really bizarre, and like the lighting and stuff, oh my god.
He looked like a vampire. It was just really creepy. But I thought they had the best chemistry of the night.
I think so.
And they ended up
Edyta always has good chemistry with her partners.
Yes. 27 for them. So good for them.
Thought it was well deserved.
I do too. So tomorrow night, James Blunt.
Oh.
You're beautiful. Okay, and somebody with a really weird name that on the captions looked like Ozo Motley.
We didn't catch it, but
they'll be there, and we'll find out then.
And the kid dancers.
We can't wait for the kids. We love it.
I'm excited for that.
Till tomorrow. Much love.